Welcome to the first annual Barnstorming event. As you can see probably in the background, we have quite a few antique airplanes here for this weekend. This is one of several stops these aircraft will make during this barnstorming event going across part of the United States.
My name is Dewey Davenport with Good Folk and Old Time Biplane Rides in Xenia, Ohio. We're here at the 2014 Barnstorming Carnival. It's the first annual event here at the Springfield-Beckley Airport. I came here to do this event, or asked the airport manager if I could do this event, host it, so we can bring general aviation and vintage aircraft to the community. All of the pilots meet up and they kind of barnstorm out west. This would be a good stop to open up the community with the vintage airplanes. This event is very successful. For the first year and with the weather that we've had, this has been a very successful event. Almost hands-on with the aircraft, the pilots, so you can ask questions and see things that you're never going to get to see anywhere else. Offering antique biplane rides has been very successful on my part to offer those rides to people. Everyone's enjoyed that. We've had stuff for kids that has been a big hit. You know, the kids' rocket building. Kids got to come and spend an hour and a half to build a rocket, and they get to take a rocket home. Almost every kid grows up and says airplane at one point in their life. They're going to look up and they're going to look in the sky and there's an airplane. So that's kind of the way I was. I was about 7 years old building plastic model airplanes, and then my dad helped me build a radio-controlled boat. Same type of construction. And then it progressed into radio-controlled airplanes, which I've been flying for over 30 years, and then full-scale airplanes for 20 years. And once I was 18 years old and I got to start flying, my parents supported me. They were very much on board with this idea. They want to see more general aviation with this airport, with the community, because if you don't open up the gates, you're never going to allow this airport to grow and prosper through the general aviation ring.
It's one of the few general aviation airports that has a 9,000-foot runway and a 5,500-foot cross runway. Probably one of the more cooler things that have been around here is we've actually had, probably since I've been here, about 3 different presidential candidates that have actually been able to fly in and out of this airport.
That were built in Lock Haven. We got a couple of Taylorcrafts. The Taylorcraft's an Ohio airplane, the white and blue one that's right in front of us here is a 1940, I think, and then there's a yellow one with a blue stripe off to my left. That's I think is a 1946 model, but built up in Alliance, Ohio, near Akron. And we got a few Arankas here, a couple of Aranka Champs next to the yellow Taylorcraft down there. That they were built down in Middletown after the war, 1946, I think.
At the end, what we do is we get a couple airplanes in the air and with little hard candies wrapped up in crepe paper so it forms a streamer, and just load bags of it and we put one of the kids in the cockpit with an open side door, kind of like his would do, or like mine, and they've got the bag of the candy, and then we line up all of the kids. There's 40, 50, 60 kids all in the field, and we'll fly down in front of them, just shoveling as handfuls of these candy streamers out, and it is like a herd of wild cats running into the field screaming, and they're grabbing candy.
And then we have the 3 Pete Pauls, the yellow one with a red stripe, the red one with a silver wing, and the orange one with a blue trim. Our Pete and Paul air campers. They were home-built airplanes designed in 1929, and Bernie Pete and Paul was the designer. He wanted to build an affordable airplane, or design an affordable airplane that any average person could build and fly, and so he designed it to be able to use a Ford Model A car engine. An airplane engine at the time cost a couple $1,000s, and people were lucky to make $2,000 or $3,000 a year, but you could buy a brand new Ford Model A car engine for $50. And so he designed an airplane to use the Ford engine, and the red and silver Pete and Paul has a Ford engine in it, and the yellow and red airplane has a Ford engine in it, the 1929, 1930 Ford engine. And then orange and blue one has a kind of a World War II era Continental engine, so still an old engine, but a lot of people put those on. They're the same engine that's in the Piper Cub and some of the Taylorcrafts and Aronkas, a little more common and a little more powerful. The orange and blue one came all the way from Virginia over the mountains and had quite a long trip. I think Bob said he made 8 or 9 stops already just to get here from Virginia. But they go about 65 miles an hour. I think a Piper Cub probably goes 75 miles an hour, and the Taylorcrafts go about 90 miles an hour. So that's kind of the range of speed.
Fun plays a 3-letter word, plays a big part in it, is the actual where we go, what we do in our own airplanes. And then the big part is who we do it with. We've got a group, a dozen or more of us, and every year at this time, we all pack up from South Carolina, Arkansas, Virginia, and start working our way out into this part right over here in Yellow Springs.